All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Tracy Shell with Down Payment Resource. So glad you guys are here today. We have a big group joining us today for our live webinar, Grow Your First Time Homebuyer Business. The focus on this is helping you as agents understand how you can use content about down payment assistance programs to grow your first time homebuyer business. So we are just a minute after the hour, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Sean, you can go ahead and hit record when you're ready.
Yep, already recording.
All right, great. Hi, welcome everyone. So glad you're here. I am Tracy Shell. I'm with Down Payment Resource, and this is the Grow Your First Time Homebuyer Business webinar. So here's some of what we're going to cover today. So we're going to give you an overview of today's DPA programs, what's in the market right now. Obviously, we're in a very interesting time, and we're going to give you some highlights on what's happening with down payment assistance programs right now. We're going to talk about first-time homebuyer business, how to educate more buyers about down payment help, and also how you can use one of our tools. It's called Down Payment Connect, how you can use that in your marketing and also pinpoint specific down payment assistance opportunities for your clients. And then we're going to get into some real marketing ideas and examples from agents across the country. All right, so first, a little bit about who we are. Down Payment Resource, we were launched actually in 2008 to solve a problem that drove a lot of people in the real estate and mortgage lending business crazy. There was really no easy way to track and find the programs that are available in the market. So we essentially developed an easier way to help agents and loan officers, MLSs, mortgage lenders, to help folks connect eligible borrowers with available down payment programs. So those are going to include like down payment assistance, grants, mortgage credit certificates, and other types of assistance. But in short, we're sort of like Match.com for down payment assistance. So now that I've told you a little bit about us, I am going to have Sean actually, hold on one sec. Sean, I'm going to have you launch the first poll there. I think whichever one, it's just the first poll. Okay, so I just like to get to know a little bit about who we have on this webinar. So tell me, what percentage of your business is made up of first-time home buyers today? So just give me a rough estimate of where you are. And Sean, when we get enough folks, you can go ahead and close that and share the results so we can take a look.
Yeah, we're up to about 2/3. So go ahead and click your answer, guys.
All right. Great. And we'll do one more poll after this one. Okay, Sean, I think we can share those results. I'm not able to see okay. We have a pretty good mix. We often see this, but a lot of folks there right in the middle in terms of segments. So that's exciting. Okay, I think we have some good information for you here today. Let's close that one out. Sean, there should be one more in there. All right, and this is just a general, how often are you working with buyers using down payment assistance? You might even consider how often are you working with buyers who are asking about down payment assistance? Sometimes folks don't qualify, but it's definitely something that people are investigating. So just let me know, are you not working with them at all? Rarely, sometimes, frequently? Would love to know what your current market share is in terms of buyers using down payment assistance programs. Okay, wow, that's a lot that are frequently using. That's exciting. And we do also have the chat open, or the Q&A open. As I'm going through this, feel free to enter questions right in there. We have with us today Sean Moss, who is our SVP of Operations and Customer Support. So he's in the background answering questions. We also have Fern White, who is Down Payment Resource Account Manager, and they are have a wealth of knowledge. They will be answering questions in the background, but that's great. We have a lot of folks who are doing this business. We'll also take live questions at the end. All right. All right, so in short, what we do is we help you connect home buyers to the down payment help we need. We know it's still the biggest challenge out there. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my video for just a minute, but so glad you're here. And as we go through the slides, again, just let us know if you have questions, just enter those in the chat. All right. So first, a little bit about the different types of homeownership programs that we track. This is really our area of expertise. This is what we track at Down Payment Resource. I just wanted to give you a sense of the types of programs that are available out there in the market. As you can see, down payment closing cost assistance is by far the largest category. It also includes a lot of variety, as you can see there. So there's, you know, everything from grants, second mortgages. You can go down to skipping to the next category, mortgage credit certificates. Not all states offer them, but some do. Additional programs is even a huge category. It even includes employer-assisted housing programs, and then also affordable first mortgage loans. And this is actually a little snapshot of the top 10 states in terms of number of programs. This is our most recent homeownership program index. So this data is a couple months old, but this just gives you a sense of some of the markets where there are the most programs available. But the important thing to note here is that there are down payment programs available everywhere. There are programs available in every market. And actually, we were just taking a look at our database recently. 81 currently, roughly 81% of programs currently do have funds available for home buyers today. So it's dropped a little bit, but there actually are a lot available. So speaking of that, I just want to get into a little bit at a high level some of the current down payment assistance trends we're seeing. We actually track programs very regularly, and currently right now we're tracking them, you know, daily. We're obviously in a dramatic environment, and we want to make sure our data is just as current as possible inside Down Payment Resource. So yeah, right now we're just doing even more updating our database to reflect that current environment. So here are just some of the trends we're seeing. You know, all state HFAs are open, accepting reservations. They're doing all that virtually, but they've really stepped up in doing all that. A lot of the state and local programs are still widely available. The market is very fluid, obviously. So some products and pricing options are suspended. In fact, in our database, we actually created a temporarily suspended category. So if you are in there and searching, you can see that on programs. But currently, I think it's, Sean was telling me recently, it's a less than 1% of programs are impacted in that way. We're also seeing home buyer education. Again, we're all just adjusting to everything being online, and that's no different when it comes to home buyer education. Lots of options there. They're being done online exclusively. And a lot of times that education can be good for a year. So that's something that to look into and something you can share with your buyers. HFAs are obviously you know, reacting to GSEs, HUD, other industry guidance, and we're staying updated on that. And we're also seeing some of the DPA providers hosting different video calls, different conference calls, just to touch base with their partners. So if you are working with a down payment assistance provider, you know, check and see what they're doing right now, because folks are offering a lot of resources. So yes, we are living in an interesting environment, yet when we look at first-time home buyers, they are really still struggling with a lot of these same questions. Many want to stop renting, and now that they're spending more time at home, maybe they're even considering that more. but they really just don't know what they can afford, and they don't know about down payment help in most cases. So if we look back at where we were pre this current crisis, here is some data from a report we worked on with the Urban Institute on barriers to accessing homeownership. But here's just a little bit of the snapshot of the problem that we really saw in the market. So, many buyers, frankly, were mortgage ready, but they had just kind of self-selected themselves out of the market because they didn't think they could qualify. But we are actually seeing some of that awareness and interest improve. This was a report, I believe it was released in January 2020. I mean, very, very recent, by clever.com. This homebuyer survey found that 31% of prospective buyers now plan to use down payment assistance to buy their home. I mean, you can see it's the second category right there. So that's pretty dramatic. And it may be that a lot of buyers are really counting on down payment assistance to be part of their home financing solution, part of that down payment solution. And even coming out of this crisis, we may expect that to increase. So let's get into how you can serve today's home buyers. It is absolutely a confusing time in the market. Things are moving so quickly. And I just believe education is more important now than ever. And so I just wanted to share this. I mean, I think, real estate agents, you are known as a trusted advisor. And this is really a time where you can shine and provide the information that will help buyers prepare for the future. Really, when we're past this, buyers will want to work with people and companies who are there to serve, educate, and keep them informed during this time of crisis. And they will tell their peers. So right now, many home buyers may be sidelined and just waiting, kind of unsure of what step to take next. It is a challenging time on many fronts, but we also know that navigating the home buying process is really never easy. I mean, multiple consumer surveys have shown that to us over time. So prospective buyers do have problems that you can address right now. So I just wanted to highlight some of the top issues that home buyers are looking for help with in this market. But really, when you look at this list, these are important issues in any market. And you can see the last one here, just covering their down payment and closing cost. That's always one of the number one obstacles to home ownership and, concerns. I mean, home buyers want to make sure that they're getting this right. And so providing access to down payment assistance programs, we think, will be an important part of speeding the real estate recovery once we're past this. And that's sort of where we come in. So we're here to help you provide more direct access to those down payment assistance partners. So a little bit about how we work, and I'm going to go over just a couple slides here so you can see where you may be able to plug in with us, and then we'll get into some of those marketing examples. But most of you probably found out about this webinar through your multiple listing service. So if your MLS provides down payment resource, it's important that you know that we're fully integrated into your MLS. So we identify eligible listings in your MLS automatically. There's nothing that you have to do, but we automatically match those listings to any available homeownership assistance programs. And if your MLS is listed here, it also means that you have free access to Down Payment Connect. And that is your lead generation landing page. And I'm going to show you how to find it, how to use it. We're going to cover all that today. But just take a look and see if your MLS is listed on there. Also, just a note for California Association of Realtor members. So you can find on these two sites, I would encourage you to check those out. You can find more program details in the California market and as well as marketing help on those links. So you have a CAR member site, and you can also direct your clients to a site. So just an important note there. And then if you did not see your MLS listed, we actually do have a paid monthly subscription to Down Payment Connect. We'll show you that. That's the link right there. And then Sean and Fern in the background, if you want in the chat, you can post some of these links for folks. But that's where you can subscribe. If again, only if your MLS is not listed. Okay, so I want to get into how to find down payment resource. We get this question a lot. Folks get excited about what we do, but they can't figure out how to find us. So this is obviously a matrix integration. So depending on your MLS, it may look different, but essentially you're going to want to look for a section that has external links or products, and then you want to click on down payment resource. You can see I've circled it right there. When you click on that link, it's going to open up our dashboard. This is our down payment resource dashboard. This is where you can find a lot of different tools. I zoomed in on this, so there's even more on that dashboard you can explore. We're not going to get into all that today, but I just want to show you how to find it. So that link right there, that hyperlink, will be customized to you. It'll have your name. Instead of saying staff agent, it'll actually have your name, and it is ready to go. It's ready for you to share really anywhere you are online. A couple other things on here that I want to point out is our marketing resources. These are really popular. We have a whole web page for you that has graphics, social media images, customizable flyers, training videos, case studies, Instagram images, you name it. So that's where you can find all of that. And then this is something else we'll send out in our follow-up email after this webinar. But we also have a private Facebook group. This is a group that I moderate. We'd love to have you join us. I think we might be close to 7,000 now. But anyway, it's a mix of hellos, but mostly agents and folks really just interested, who are interested in doing more business with first-time home buyers and working with down payment assistance programs. So it's a great place to ask questions, get ideas, and I post in there weekly. And actually, I want to show you, highlight these two agents that we've done case studies on, but I actually met both of them through that Facebook community page, that Down Payment Insiders page. And so if you're here, you probably are interested in helping educate buyers that they don't need 20% down and helping make sure that they're navigating this process more efficiently, that they're finding the valuable resources that are out there. So I just wanted to share these quotes with you from Amber and Raul because I was really impressed at how they are, they really saw a need in their market, and they're serving their buyers and being a hero to more of their clients by highlighting those opportunities. Okay, so I am going to actually hop in to show you how Down Payment Connect works. So remember that link that I showed you a few slides back? So I'm going to show you this one more time. So this link right here, when you click on it, it looks like this. And this is what you would share a buyer. So I'm going to go through the experience for you of what a buyer would experience with you with using your page. So let's see. I'm going to change my share. Okay, can you guys see my, Sean, is this coming through okay?
Yes, looks good.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is actually Amber, who was on the previous slide. This is actually her page. And so I just want to show you, as a buyer, buyer comes to this page, again, that's the live link. As they enter more information, most people use this general search where they're just typing in a community. She's in the Florida market, so you can see it pops up. Say they're interested in a $200,000 home. Again, these are just kind of estimated prices. How many people? Say there's 3 folks in the household. Never owned a home. All right, so say their income. You can see as I enter the income, you can see that number change. So as you go through, this number may change. Say one of the member of the family is a veteran. Sometimes that increases, sometimes it doesn't. You can check for more opportunities. So if someone's in law enforcement, someone's in healthcare, that actually added a program. There are special programs for these community hero type professions. So you can see, you can answer all these questions. The more information your buyer enters, the more precise those results are going to be for their personal situation. So then when the buyer hits get details, they are going to see, and sorry, this was cached from another site, but it would have your name in here. It would have the same name in there, but it's going to tell the buyer how many programs they're eligible for and up to how much in help. Then when your buyer enters this contact information, that becomes your lead. You get a detailed email. The buyer gets an email that has more high-level information about what they're eligible for. But essentially, once they click to get their results and enter their email, that lead comes to you by email with some additional details. So I'm going to hop back in my PowerPoint and show you guys. All right, so again, that's the consumer experience. I'm going to kind of go through this in a slide, but I did want to show you live how interactive it is and how that works. Again, we saw that we can enter information. This is what a buyer would enter: their household information, complete a contact form. They get a pop-up thank you screen once they complete that form. And then the buyer gets this email. You can see this email actually names you, has your email address, your phone number, reminds them what they searched for, and just gives them the name and the benefit details that they may be eligible for. This is your lead. So you get a lot of details. So you're going to get their name, email, phone, whether or not they currently have an agent, what they searched for, and then all the details for that program. So you can see those are hyperlinks. So in your email, you'll be able to click on that hyperlink and you'll be able to get this level of detail. So it includes everything from links to participating lenders, what the education requirement is and education providers, links to program guide or flyer, the program provider's website, contact information, and more. So you'll have access to all those details. Okay, now I'm going to get into, one sec. Now I'm going to get into some of the examples that I told you we're going to share. These are examples of how different agents across the country are using our tool where they are online and attracting first-time home buyers. So I'm going to go through these examples, and I hope these will help spur some ideas for your own business. So you can see this realtor added a link. One of these graphics is actually available in our marketing resources. So he pulled that graphic off, put it on his website. And I really like here that this is at the top of his website. It's sort of above the fold, if you will, on his website. So it's among one of the first things you see when you go to his website. And I think it's just a way to show that this is a market that you're really focused on. Susan, and she's actually in Atlanta, she embedded her Down Payment Connect link on a buyer's page so she can drive traffic to this tool while making sure visitors never leave her website. So this is something you can do. It's called iframing. So something you can talk to whoever helps you with your website. But you can see her website is wrapped around it. So folks are still staying within her website and doing that search. It's also mobile responsive and can respond to whatever size. So you can see on this page, it's a different, it's a narrower area to put the search, and it's definitely something that you can do on your website or wherever you are. online. So it will adjust for social campaigns and other website placement. This realtor embedded the Down Payment Connect form into a new buyers page on the website. So you can see it's still on the website. There's no like wrap around it. But if you see up here towards the top, there's a top level navigation from the main navigation that says down payment assistance. So that's another way that you can more quickly direct folks to finding out if they might be eligible for down payment assistance, is adding that top level navigation. Also, email signatures. This is another one of our graphics, but you can hyperlink text or graphics, but always a good idea to drop that in. You can make it part of your standard email signature for your business, for your brokerage, however you're using that. So blog posts, they can also be effective, and also consider if you're doing any writing for like a local community publication online. There may be opportunities for you to hyperlink in those sorts of places. So you can think even broader than just your own blog, but content is king, and posting content can really help you build more awareness and as well as educate buyers. So you can see they just have this, they have a hyperlink to their tool as just a text hyperlink. So, if you have a blog and you're looking to highlight the topic of down payment assistance, start thinking about what keywords you want to use. For real estate agent, I would always recommend make sure you're highlighting your city throughout the blog, the city name, and you're highlighting down payment assistance, homeownership assistance. You can kind of test out different terms like that and see what's getting traction. You could also add a graphic in here, but a lot of folks really like just hyperlinking text. Oops, sorry about that. So, just consider making it as local and targeted as you can, and using the market, because you might see folks searching for something like down payment assistance in Austin, Texas, or down payment assistance Atlanta, or something like that. So just think about localizing that as much as possible. Okay. I love this example. This is a more of a long form education. And again, people are home right now. People are doing online research. This might, even if you do have content out there for first time home buyers, this might be a time that you really want to consider expanding the type of content, because you might get more eyeballs on that right now. It's definitely, people are at home, online more, and researching. So I'm actually going to show you this one live. This is this page in real life, and you can see he has hyperlinked both text and graphics. But what I really love is there's just a lot of backgrounds, like how do these programs work? Really digging into the types of questions that buyers may be asking. So I think, especially in this environment, this could be a great way to go. This group has had huge success with Down Payment Connect. He was actually featured in Inman News for his success doing Facebook campaigns. But I just really love the time they took to really build out that education. Also, you can see this is a branded video. So they recorded their own video, branded that, and of course that's something you can share anywhere you're online as well. So you can see you don't have to embed the Down Payment Connect link. You can just hyperlink to it. When you click on that new web page would open up, and a home buyer could complete their search. All right. Okay. Also, creating a home buyer checklist may be something that you want to do right now too, along the same vein of just people wanting to be more educated about the process. This is a great example. I think this is actually on its own website, and I think he has 4 or 5 steps highlighted. And then when you click, you can click to watch a video or click to get more details. When you click on Find Down Payment Help, that's actually one of our graphics as well. It goes right to his down payment search. This content he keeps under a section called For First-Time Homebuyers. And one thing I want to point out here, one thing that I really love about this example is step 1 is finding out about down payment assistance. And I love this because one of our goals here at Down Payment Resource is for our down payment assistance to be a part of every first conversation a buyer would have with their agent or lender, just like you would do when you're discussing getting pre-approved or pre-qualified. So I love that this helps connect those dots. Okay, this example of a Facebook campaign, Raul did this great social media campaign where he answered 10 homebuyer questions by video. So he built this out. It was a 10-week campaign, answered 1 question a week in video, and down payment assistance was one of the topics. So you can see, you know, the question is, when researching home loans, what's the best approach to look for down payment and closing cost assistance? So then he answered that question by video. And then he, you know, could boost this post and share that other places. But, you know, video performs really well on social media. And so if you've been interested in starting that, this could be a really good campaign idea that you could take for a series of weeks just to answer some of those top questions that you're getting from buyers in your market. Also, highlight success stories. Folks want to be inspired by people who actually use these down payment assistance programs, and they want to know that it actually worked. So this group, this is Minnesota-based Barker Hedges group. They actually launched this entire Facebook page to serving first-time homebuyers. You can see the name of the page is not Barker Hedges, it's Minnesota First-Time Homebuyer. So that's something else you could think about when it comes to either websites or social media pages. You know, how can you better reach your audience by essentially naming the people that you want to serve in that way. And this post was great because they, you know, highlighted about one of their clients who used this program, and then highlighted the amount of assistance available. In this case, it's a $12,000 down payment assistance program. So, you know, when you're working with buyers, especially as we saw in that survey, a lot of you are even regularly working with buyers using down payment assistance. Instead of just posting, you know, you and the grip and grin with them, ask a little bit more, ask if they'd be willing to share a little bit more about their experience. Ask if you can highlight the amount of assistance they got, what the process was like, what agency they worked with. Any of those, that type of information can be really impactful. So, you know, really real examples from other first-time homebuyers will help you connect better with this audience. So I think bottom line, it shows them that achieving their dream is possible. And also, this is that same site. They do a great job with video too. This video in particular highlights a huge question. People are, there's a lot of confusion about what does it mean to be a participating lender, or how do you find a lender who offers down payment assistance? So this is an agent answering that for his buyers. And you can see he answers a lot of real basic questions on there. You know, talk to your lender partners who are working with you on down payment assistance programs and clients. You know, see if they'd be willing to answer one of those questions, and then you can both share it on your social media. So this is a great time to collaborate with your referral partners. But I love that he did this in such a succinct way. You can see on the right, all those videos. I mean, the longest video is like 1:14. So they're short, quick hitting, and they answer a question that a lot of first-time homebuyers have. Okay, I want to show you this one too. I'm going to show you this one live. This is a real estate broker in Seattle. He actually has a section on his website called Advice for Buyers, and then it has this down payment assistance page. So you can see this is a little bit of a hybrid. He has some of that long form education, and you can see he even used our graphic overlaid with his own image. So that's something you can do too to further customize that. So he has some of this background, how they work, and then right underneath it is the iframe of his website, of his, Down Payment Connect landing page. So you can see it's embedded right in there. So that's another thing that you can do. You can hyperlink, you can have that little bit of a combination approach of iframing it, but also providing a little bit more context for that buyer before they're jumping into that. Okay, I'm going to show you this next one live. So this is a really interesting example and really innovative. I was really excited to speak with Marilyn a few months back about how she was using her Down Payment Connect page. So she actually created this separate landing page. This is, I think she used Wix, but this is just complete. This is separate even from her website. She just did a separate landing page, and she used this. She used a Facebook ad campaign to drive people to this landing page. So when folks come in here, if they were to enter their name, they enter their name and email and click this, click here to see if you qualify, then her Down Payment Connect search page popped up. The really cool thing about this is she actually captures 100% of the names and emails who go to her form. So she is capturing that email one step before they actually fill out that information. So then she has a little bit more data. She knows who clicked on the form and who didn't submit their contact information, and then who clicked on the form and completed it. So, you know, if you're working on drip marketing campaigns and working on segmenting your audience, this could be a really cool way of doing that. And you're also maximizing your ad spend because you're making sure you're capturing information about anybody who goes to that page. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about Marilyn. Just a second. All right, that's Marilyn. So I mentioned that Facebook campaign that she did. So this is a screenshot of that. You can see it's very simple. It uses that same image that flows to her landing page. That is really key. It makes sure people know like they ended up in the right place when they see that same image again. But you can see it's just really simple. And she had just tremendous success. This is actually what she's shared with us. She felt like it was even more successful than when she did Zillow leads in the past. She's getting really good leads. They're responding and interested. So she just felt like these were it provides such a warm conversation starter more than other lead tools. So I just really loved hearing that from her. Okay, also I just wanted to highlight Instagram. We're seeing more folks seeing agents doing more on Instagram. So we actually built out a whole Instagram library of images. This is one of those that you can see. Example of some Instagram posts, and also hashtags are key. There's probably a lot of, if you're on Instagram and doing stuff there, the way you can really reach more people right in your market is look for those community hashtags in your city. A lot of those cities have their own pages and they're promoting those hashtags, so you can hop on that bandwagon and attach your use those hashtags to really pinpoint people in your community. And then I also wanted to highlight this example from Kiana. She actually does do a lot on Instagram, and one of her calls to action on Instagram is her Down Payment Connect page. So you can see if you're on LinkedIn, you know that you only have one opportunity for a link. It's called your link in bio. And a lot of people switch out that link in bio depending on what they have going on in their feed. Well, you can use a tool. There's other tools, but there's tools beyond Linktree, but you can use this. It's called Link. You can see it right here, linktr.ee. If you go there, what I like about this is it's a completely free tool, and you can set it up in, I would say under a minute and a half. I mean, it is so fast. But essentially it allows you to direct people to other calls to action, not just one. So you can see if I were to click on Kiana's Linktree, I would see this pop over. This would show up. So it would allow me to visit her website, see if I qualify for down payment assistance. That's where it pulls up that page. Also, she has this other lead generator of thinking about selling your home, find out what it's worth, and also a lease to own opportunity. So that's something that you can add on Instagram too. And she's actually had a lot of success. I spoke with her in February, so just a couple of months ago, and she told me that in February alone, she got over 80 visits to that page just from her Instagram, mind you. And she had 8 buyers complete searches. So I thought that was really impressive. So definitely try that if you're on Instagram. Here's just a highlight of some of those images we offer. Okay, so before we open up to questions, I just want to highlight some other ideas and best practices that might be helpful to you in your business right now. And really in my role at DPR, I speak with agents and LOs across the country regularly and learn how they're working with first-time home buyers. And so I've learned a lot from folks like yourself. And so here are just a couple of high points. So we talked about adding that link to your email signature. It's always front and center. 2, look at your eligible properties. Look to see if one of your listings is eligible, and you can market that listing with down payment assistance program information. You can tell buyers, hey, also, did you know this home is actually eligible for these 5 programs? Let's see if you could be eligible as well. 3, Facebook ad campaigns. We know Facebook ads can be really powerful, especially when you can target your market, and they give you a lot of great reports on the number of clicks and views. It can really help you test interest in that content. But we've definitely seen agents have a lot of success with Down Payment Connect on Facebook. For Instagram profile links, so we already went through all that. I won't belabor this point, but that's a great low-hanging fruit opportunity if you're already on Instagram. Plus, if you're somebody who has more than 10,000 followers, you also have access to that swipe up feature in Instagram stories. So you could add your link there. That's another place that you can add your link. Okay, 5, educational content. We talked about that quite a bit. We know buyers are already, even before this crisis, buyers were already doing more research in advance, even though they would most likely use an agent. And I think we could absolutely see that increase, again, with more people home and considering their next step. So just remember, use those keywords in your educational content. 6, add a first-time homebuyer section to your site. I see a lot of agents who have a for buyers page, but maybe call that out more, maybe have a, first-time homebuyer landing page, or just a really specific page that's going to speak to that audience and help educate and nurture that first-time homebuyer audience. 7, explainer videos on your website and social media can add a lot of value. Gosh, everyone's busy. They want short videos. These videos, they make it a lot easier to take in that information. And also, there's so many ways to easily edit and record today that you don't need a lot of fancy equipment. 8, consider hosting virtual homebuyer events. Obviously, we're not in an environment where we're doing live homebuyer education or first-time homebuyer big events with a bunch of partners, but there's no reason why you can't host virtual events just like that. Talk to your partners, maybe do a series of events and work together. But it's absolutely something that you can spearhead and really show value to your referral partners. And then drip marketing campaigns. Don't forget to reach back out to your target audience through ongoing marketing campaigns. We know some of these buyers may not be ready, but when you send them valuable information, connect them to education and resources and other types of training, you really are going to be top of mind, especially when we're past this and when they're ready to buy. Okay, final point. Definitely leverage the experts available to you. Remember, you don't have to be the expert in down payment assistance. Use this time to lean on your HFA partners and your lender partners and partner with them. We hear a lot of a lot of agents will tell us, I don't want to be an expert in these programs. And that's really what I want to leave you with as the good news, is that you don't have to be the absolute expert in all these programs. But you are a trusted advisor and you can help start those conversations. So just a couple of tips for that. We do highlight or we do link to participating lenders and all the program details. So you will find that there. You can always keep your current lender partnerships, but also look at expanding. Are there some programs where you don't have a lender partner who can help you? It might be time to develop some new partners. Connect with your state and local HFAs, nonprofits, and employers to find out what resources they may have for you as an agent and what classes they could offer. And then, on your website content, blog, social media, you can also highlight information about local programs. Maybe do a kind of program at a glance type piece that just highlights at a very high level the benefits that may be available and how the homebuyer education works, for example. And then also, this is a great time for you to be online and getting training. That's probably why we had a record number of registrants for today. There are a lot of people going online, learning about what they can do to keep their business momentum going and getting educational content ideas. So, again, as a reminder, I just want to put up here the MLS partners we work for, that we work with. If your MLS is listed here, your link is literally waiting for you. All you have to do is go on there, claim that link. And we also have a Get Started video series. We'll email all this out to you, so don't worry. We'll email that out to you after the webinar. And then if your MLS is not on here, here's just a little bit about we offer agents and loan officers through our subscription-based version of Down Payment Resources. This is a monthly, no-contract subscription-based resource. And you get your own personalized landing page. You can generate the traffic. You get access to marketing tools, all of that. And loan officers have a few more tools available. So this is a little bit about what that looks like inside. For Down Payment Connect, that's the paid subscription. Again, if your MLS already has it, you don't need that. But I just wanted to show you that. And if you are interested in subscribing to that or know somebody who is, that's where that link right there, that downpaymentresource.com/DPC is where you would find that. So with that, I'm going to hop back on video here. Can you guys see me? And I am going to hop into the questions. I'm going to actually have Fern and Sean, let me know what questions you guys have. It looks like you've been keeping them busy. So let's just open that up.
Yeah, they've been keeping us busy. I'm going to throw two at you real quick that we weren't quite sure we had an answer for.
Okay.
And guys, I think we've gotten to everybody. There's a lot of people here, so we've been firing away answers as fast as we can. Tracy, Elizabeth asks, the social media images can be found with my desktop, but I think you can only post to Instagram through our mobile device. Is that correct? Or do you have any, I'm not
Oh,
quite trying to
okay.
answer the question, but do you?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes that's so tricky. I mean, there's probably, and I will say, I'm not a complete Instagram expert. Some of you may have a better answer than I do, but one way of getting around that, there are ways that you can post in Instagram from your desktop, or that you can basically send it to Instagram and then you get on your phone and actually activate and post it. I don't have that information in front of you, but you could definitely do some research on that. One way to get around it, though, is if you download one of our marketing resource, one of our images that we have, you could, like if you're on a Mac system, you could airdrop that image to your phone. You could also email it to yourself and then download it on your phone as a photo. You might even be able to go to that marketing resources link on your phone and download it to your phone. So anyway, play around with that. But then once the image is on your phone, then you can upload it and post it like you normally would. But if you're more sophisticated on Instagram, and if any of you have the answer or using the tool, feel free to drop that in the Q&A for us. I think, you know, there may be another tool that would make that simpler for you.
Yeah, and Elizabeth replied. She said thanks. So Elizabeth, hopefully that helped. There was one more here that we tried to answer, but
Sure.
somebody asked about Linktree. Is that only used for Instagram?
Yes, I believe so. Because they're the main social. Although I don't know. I mean, there are other social media platforms that don't have a lot of direct link opportunity, but it was designed initially. It's been around a while, but it was designed initially for Instagram, and I've also seen some other tools that are similar to Linktree that provide you that opportunity to have multiple calls to action on there. But go to their website and see. But yeah, you can use that. And also, I know, again, I'm not a social media expert. Somebody who does a great job educating about social media is Katie Lance. I think I found her on LinkedIn. Anyway, but you can also check out some of her tools. Katie Lance, she does live trainings, and she really dives deep into the social media aspect. So
yeah, Joy actually just replied and said you could also use an Instagram scheduling tool on desktop, yes, like Planoly or Later.
Later. Okay, I have used Later. Yes. So if you Google one of those tools, some of the other ones will come up, but I definitely would check into those. But you can post from your desktop. And, now might be a time to have a new trick up your sleeve and learn a new platform.
Katie replied, what was the name of the marketing person you just mentioned?
Katie Lance.
It looks like Katie on our webinar is saying that Katie Lance has an upcoming webinar.
Yes, she does do some live webinars too. So if you really want to, our content focus is down payment assistance, but if you want even more on how you can optimize your social media, she is a really good resource, and she does a lot of free training. So definitely check that out.
So Fern, I've seen several questions about are DPAs still open, or are DPAs suspended? I think universally we should just clarify DPAs are open for business. There's volatility. There are some programs and pricing options that are being paused, or turn times may be affected, but by and large across the country, down payment assistance providers are open for business, supporting their realtor and lender partners. Work with your LOs to figure out what's out there. Fern, what else have you seen? Because we're kind of splitting this 50-50 trying to answer all these.
Yeah, and actually, Sean, this would be a good question for you to answer. I've seen this come up a couple of times. And the question is, so which comes first? Do you submit a request for for DPA funding first, or do you work with a lender on a pre-approval to make sure that your client is approved for a mortgage?
In part, that depends on the program, but I would say as a best practice for realtors, talk to your loan officer partners, plural. explore which programs all of them offer, what kind of mortgage options do they have, which down payment assistance programs do they participate in, because not every lender participates in every program, but generally speaking, we're talking about first-time home buyers who are going to apply for a mortgage to finance their new home and are going to use down payment assistance, which is typically done in tandem and in parallel with first mortgage qualification. So think of it that way and leverage the lending expertise of your loan officer partners.
And just a follow up to that, another question that came over is, where can I go and find a lender in my specific state that works with DPAs?
Tracy, I guess I'll take that for a moment.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're a member of one of our MLS partners, which Tracy has on the screen there, then, and there's a couple other questions we haven't gotten to yet about this actually, you can find our little, it's a $, our little icon on eligible listings when you're looking at single line or listing detail displays in your MLS. If you see that, it means that property is eligible for one or more or many down payment programs. From there, you can click the down payment button, see which programs are available, and each one offers you access to more detail, including first and foremost, who are the participating lenders for that program as published by the program provider. So that's one way. If you're using Down Payment Connect, when you get a lead, you'll see the programs they found, and you can click the link in that lead for each program, and again, find the participating lenders because we provide you with that detail as well.
Great, that's great.
So Tracy, we got a lot of questions about marketing content. Is where do you go to get started? I guess, can you just describe one more time MLS partner members versus Down Payment Connect subscribers?
Yes, exactly. So marketing resources are provided to you if you're using our tools through your MLS, or if you're using our tools through a paid subscription. So either way, you're going to have access to marketing tools. And actually, well, sorry, I don't have it pulled up. I was going to pull it up, but if you log into whatever, if you're on the DPR dashboard with your MLS, you can click on that marketing resources. It's going to pull up a web page that has all of those right there for you. Same thing, if you pay for Down Payment Connect, you're going to get your own login. You are able to customize your page slightly. You can have a logo at the top. So that is one difference with the paid subscription, because I just saw a few questions come over on that. We don't currently have any other capabilities to customize, but you can, in the paid version, have your logo or photo or something like that at the top. But you're going to also have a link to all sorts of marketing tools. It's going to include a lot of those graphics that you saw. Photos. We didn't even show you customizable flyers, but we do have flyers you can download, add your contact information. You can save those as a PDF. You can share them online. You can, well, we're not doing open houses right now, but you can use those when you're doing events again. You can use those as a handout at events, but you can certainly share those online as well. We have other trainings in there. We have case studies like Maryland that I showed you. So you can really dig into a little bit more about more real examples on how people are using it.
And Tracy, we're still getting so many questions. We're unable to keep up at this point, which is great because everybody's interested and engaged.
Yeah.
So we have a great audience. However, can you go back to the Down Payment Connect overview slide? We're still getting a lot of questions about where do we go to start? And so this is it right here, guys. Go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC.
And remember, you only want to go here if you're not getting Down Payment Connect through your MLS, because you're really getting a lot. If your MLS is working with us, you're getting a lot of tools, including Down Payment Connect. And so I would encourage you to check that out.
Yeah, and we'll show you that list as well. When you go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC, that's Down Payment Connect. We'll show you the list of our MLS partners there. If your MLS or association is on that list, don't pay for it. You have it. If you still want to access this kind of flexibility and creative marketing opportunity, then we give you that opportunity as well. But go there, downpaymentresource.com/DPC.
Yeah.
Tracy, we've hit our hour. We still have we can't keep up at this point.
I know. I saw a couple. I'll stay on for just a couple minutes. I saw a couple questions in the unanswered ones. Sean, is that okay if I address a couple of those?
Yeah, go for that. And then Fern, if you've got anything else to plug in
You
here, I think
guys see
it covers
any
it.
other pressing? But yeah, thanks, you guys. We had a huge audience, and really hope you guys are staying well and managing everything that we're going through right now.
One thing I did want to answer just in relation to the marketing resources is that those flyers are available in Spanish. So I did see that question come up a couple of times.
Yes, we do have, we'll be developing more in Spanish, but we do have Spanish language flyers. So thank you, Fern. I appreciate you reminding me about that. So I think I answered the question about customizing. Okay, so Glenda was asking, how do you get the link to share on your page? And I just wanted to share, like, if you're, when you have that long hyperlink, you can, I mean, we also see some people using like vanity URLs to make the link, you know, prettier and shareable. I mean, you can make it a bit.ly link or something like that. Absolutely. But you can share it just like you would any link from social media, and it'll pop up there on Facebook. I'll just use Facebook as an example. It'll pop up there. If you're adding it to your website, just talk with whoever it works on your website. I mean, it's basically like linking anywhere. So if you have other content where you're just hyperlinking text, you literally just have to hyperlink the text. I would just make sure that if you're driving people just to our landing page, make sure you're opening in a new window so that people don't go completely away from your website. So your website's still open. They're just opening a new window to search. So I would encourage you to do that. If you're using the graphics, you just do the same thing. You pretend the graphic is there, and then you just add a hyperlink to it. But definitely, if you have somebody who helps you at all on your website, and some of you may have, if you work for a larger brand, you may have certain brand guidelines that you have to adhere to, definitely talk to them, show them how the tool works, show them the marketing resources, and just get some help from them, because we obviously can't answer every question, and everybody's system is a little bit different. So I just wanted to, let me go. I saw, if we're in the MLS, how do we start? This is the get started video. We're going to put these links. Again, you're going to get a follow-up email that's going to have a lot of these links in here. And we're actually doing another marketing webinar like this in just a couple of weeks. This was an extra one we added on because of demand. So we have another one coming up in May. I believe it's May 12th, but we'll send you the invitation if you want to share this with a colleague or attend again. So let me just go back to, I'm going to go back real quick to show you inside the MLS. Now that you guys have seen this in action, sorry for the scrolling. Sorry guys, didn't realize how many there were. I just want to show you where you're going to get this. Remember, you're finding down payment resource in the product, either under products or under external links. You're clicking on that, and then that is going to open our MLS DPR dashboard, and that's where your link is. So that's the best place to get started. You're going to find everything in there, but just log into your MLS and look for us for sure. Let's see. Okay, I want to ask this other question. Sean, you might be able to answer this. Jim was asking, so how do I get clients linked to me? Example, I see DPR in a listing. Then if I send one of my clients that listing, how do they reconnect back with him? Could you share, Sean, just a little bit on DPR on a listing, how agents can make sure that they're interacting with their clients?
Yeah, so that's a little outside the purview of Down Payment Connect. What we've been talking about today is marketing outside the MLS and leveraging this tool to do so. However, if you are a member of one of our partner MLSs, you will see a down payment icon on eligible listings, both on agent and client reports when you're looking at listings in your MLS system. If you click from the agent reports, like single line or agent detail or something like that, You'll see the programs and their details for each program available at that property. And I'll add, eligibility is based on location and price, list price, because we saw a few questions about that. If you send your client listings, our presumption is that relationship already exists somehow. So that's not a lead generation workflow. That's just you informing them when you send them listings that, hey, also, by the way, there's down payment help. Now, we may get to something like connecting them back to you at some point, but they're not connected to anybody. They're just looking at a resource you sent them. So it's not going to pump them off to anybody else. But that's all separate from Down Payment Connect. What we've been focusing on today is this lead generation, marketing, and education tool that you can take outside your MLS to build that connection.
Great. Thanks so much for clarifying all that, Sean. And then one final question, I think Leah was asking, are there drip marketing campaign templates? No, but that is a great idea and something that we have thought about. So we do not currently have drip campaign templates, although if you look at the flyers and you look at some of the other marketing tools we have, you will find content there. We also have a homebuyer blog that you can look at. If you just go to our public page, downpaymentresource.com, and click on blog, you'll see some consumer content there that you can certainly share good ideas about content that first-time homebuyers might be interested in. Okay. Fern, Sean, any final questions we need to address or anything else before I close this out?
Yeah, I've been going through these. One good question that I just came across is, what would disqualify a home? It seems as though a person can be qualified to receive the DPA funding, but a home may not be qualified.
Yeah, that's a great question. And we didn't get into a lot. Actually, Sean does a great webinar on how these programs work, and we get into a little bit of that. There's two things that need to happen for a buyer to use down payment assistance. They have to qualify and the home has to qualify. So it's typically looking at the home price and the home's location are going to be those main factors for a home. So it could be that the home is more expensive than that program will allow, or the home is where it's located. There are no programs eligible for that home in particular. Sean, anything else you want to say about that?
It's mostly going to be price. And keep in mind, these are for residential properties. So, you're not going to see down payment assistance for lots or for commercial, things like that. But usually it's price because every state has a housing finance agency. So, if you're we're in Metro Atlanta, beyond the mid fours, you're not going to see down payment assistance in Metro Atlanta. That would be different in Southern California. Max prices could be, $750, $800, somewhere in that range. So it depends on the market, depends on the price of the properties.
Great. Thank you.